Welcome to 5-Star Company Culture with your host, Josh Cunningham. In this podcast, we explore how culture is the key to unlocking massive profits and unprecedented freedom. Discover insights, strategies, and inspiring stories to transform your life and business. Here's your host, Josh Cunningham.
Howdy, and welcome to another episode of the 5-Star Company Culture podcast. I'm your host, Josh Cunningham, founder and CEO here at 5-Star Company Culture. I've got an awesome guest for you once again. Today, we're joined by Paul Barron. He's the founder and CEO of the Wall Printer, which is a very cutting-edge new technology solution that's taken the world by storm. And Paul's got all sorts of insights to share with you today. Paul was also just recently awarded the 2023 Coastal Entrepreneur of the Year Award for the opportunity that is the Wall Printer. So not only the opportunity at hand, but the culture that they've built there as well. So Paul, I'll let you take it over and give our audience a little bit of background story on all the wild successes that you've had over your short, young career at this point, right?
Well, thank you, Josh, on many levels with that introduction, not the least of which is calling me young at my 72 years. I do have quite a journey that I've been blessed with. It hasn't been a hockey stick trajectory, as many entrepreneurs and business owners and even people in various careers and professions, look for. There's been its valleys, there's been its peaks. The valleys I consider learning experiences. Not the least of which is learning what your talents are, what drives you, what gives you passion, and hopefully how you translate that into a company and the culture that a company is trying to build around its products or services or customers, so that you can maximize the opportunities that are there for you and your employees and your customers, your partners, your vendors, shareholders, whoever is a stakeholder, as I call it, in the whole growth and process of your business, whatever that might be. And so I have been blessed by learning along my path, and that path has taken its journey across various products and services. I've owned several of my own companies, from restaurants and food service to software technology development. I was a high school mathematics teacher right out of college, but very quickly went into the business world with some retail shops, some tennis sporting goods stores. How I put myself through college was stringing tennis rackets. And I kind of got hooked on the world of business and opened up a tennis shop when I graduated, and then migrated into the world of business from that point on. Many times I would work for a company, try to get a feeling for how these companies grew, how they developed their own internal processes, cultures, whatever they needed to do to be successful, not only within their own walls and borders, but also what they were trying to do to accomplish the hopes and dreams and expectations of their customers, whether it was for a product, a service, software development, whatever that technology, whatever it might have been that they were doing at the time. And I've crossed many paths in that process. The last few decades, I founded my own companies, trying to represent products that I thought had a very serious gap in the American marketplace, generally products from companies outside our borders. I developed a market for some audio and video technology from Russia, an Australian dog wash system that I marketed and brought to the United States and ended up manufacturing here, providing a very innovative dog wash system to pet shops and community dog parks and things like that. There was a Chinese headband headphone company, an Austrian baby bottle manufacturer, all of which had various sales teams and marketing teams that had to be grown around it to introduce these products to our audience, and then developing and learning what the best cultures were inside these companies that I was building and creating, to best articulate not only the value proposition of the product or service, but also that would enhance the lives of our employees and our partners, being the most important thing. Today, I enjoy a company that has been growing rapidly for the past 3 years. As I mentioned, I'm 72 years old. I'm not going to take your audience through the whole sordid path of Paul Barron. But suffice to say that this is probably my last hurrah, and I'm enjoying every minute of it, because I do have a good team and a culture that allows everybody to cooperate with one another and with our customers to help them grow and achieve their goals in terms of delivering beautiful wall art through the machines that we manufacture and sell today. They are, I guess you could call them, inkjet printers on steroids. It's a $30,000 machine, not your $100 or $200 desktop printer. They're designed to put beautiful artwork onto walls, indoors and outdoors. And we have teams of sales, marketing, business development, technology support, customer service, and all of these teams have to work together in an environment or culture, if you will, that allows for especially a new technology, which we offer. It's been around for about 14 years, but until I brought it here to the United States, it didn't exist. And so we're making people aware of this by communicating what its value is, what the benefits are, how people can make money using these machines, and how much they have to spend and what they have to create with their own employees and their own businesses and their own culture to really translate. The machine is just a vehicle. It's a means to an end, and that end should be just a wonderful, productive, profitable environment for people's families, employees, and customers.
That's great, man. Awesome. There's probably so much information that you have to share. Like you said, the peaks and the valleys. The peaks are always what makes the introduction or the headline or the resume, but it's the valleys. Those are the places where the real lessons are learned, like you said. And the struggles, the frustration, the growth, the progress is. I can't imagine how many different lessons and nuggets that you may have here to share. But the other thing that I think is really cool is this project that you're on. You said, you're 72 years young. You've got, plenty of gas in the engine, and you're very excited and enthusiastic about this opportunity and the culture and the team that you're working with to be able to help people realize, like you said, it's just a means to an end. It's what is this feeling that people desire to have? I mean, you pointed it out already that the beautiful artwork behind you here in your office is an example of this. The wall printer, what the transformation can take place. So why don't you talk a little bit more about, what are some of those transformations that you've seen by creating this organization? I mean, this is a product that is new, it's cutting edge, it's it's essentially a problem that's being solved in a way that's never been solved before. So what are some of those transformations that you've seen starting this new team and rolling out and these services to your happy and satisfied customers?
Sure. Introducing any product or service that's new and innovative, it requires not only the time, talent, and treasure, I call it, that are the ingredients to any company's success. You have to have the time to devote to it. You have to have the talent and the various aspects of what it means to not only communicate or market a product and service, and then the treasure, of course, of the finances to be able to do this, to be able to pay your employees, to be able to feed yourself or your family, put gas in your car to get to work each day. Ultimately, that whole notion of culture, which may be an overused expression at times, I don't think can be too impressed too much upon us as we venture into any area, whether it's an established product or company or something brand new and innovative that nobody's ever seen or heard about before, like the wall printer or the floor printers that we offer. Sure, we deliver beautiful wall art onto any wall, indoors or outdoors. That's the function of the machine. But who benefits by that? There are other ways you can put it on walls. You can have an artist paint something. You can put a vinyl sticker up there. You can get a framed portrait or picture and put that on the wall. You could do wallpaper. They all have some pluses and minuses, sometimes cost, sometimes just the effect. But ultimately, you have to be passionate. You have to be passionate about what you do and what you're delivering. You could always find a market and a customer for something, but to create that whole support infrastructure, that whole culture around why somebody wants something, why they would want to use a wall printer or an artist, or somebody to wrap their car with vinyl stickers or something our wall printer does not do. We don't do curved surfaces. We only do walls and floors. They don't have to be smooth surfaces, but they have to be flat. We don't do, like I said, vehicle wraps, things like that. But there's a place for everything. But ultimately, it's that passion. I've always found a team that I could support or that could support me. So in those peaks and valleys, there's plenty of stuff that I don't know. Most people don't know what they don't know, and that's okay. If you just keep putting yourself out there and you keep getting yourself involved with people, networking. Nothing's more important than relationships. Whether you're going to be part of a company and its culture and part of a career for yourself. All of these things there are very fine lines between all of them. And it ultimately comes down to the relationships you've built or you want to develop. There's the old saying, be nice to the people you see on the way up because they're the same people you're going to see on the way down. Nothing could be further from the truth. Well, nothing could be more accurate than that, or closer to the truth rather, because these are the relationships that you're going to develop. And even if some of your ventures fail because it's the wrong mix of people or the wrong mix of the product and the people, and the people don't, I always like people to, be in a role that they can achieve the most for themselves and for the people around them. And when you talk about a corporate culture, nothing could ruin it more quickly than people doing the wrong things for the wrong reasons. Somebody who thinks they're a salesperson, but they're really a marketing person. Somebody who thinks they're a marketing person, but they're really a technologist, and they're really somebody who has more creative development, that kind of ideas and skills than the ability to communicate those products or services to other people. You have to find your own path, or you have to be in an environment that allows you to be around people that will help you find that path and what works best for you. And so, ultimately, you must surround yourself with the kind of people, products, business, culture, if you will, that will let you thrive. And if you don't see that, and it's easy to see it, you're not happy at the end of the day. You're not anxious to get out of bed in the morning and jump at that opportunity. I don't really like using trite expressions, but sometimes they're more appropriate than anything else. Things like, if you're happy with what you do, you'll never work a day in your life.
Yep.
Well, I felt that way even on some of the setbacks, or some people might call them financial failures or personal failures. I always look at those as learning experiences, because even if you your business, Josh, you've got a lot of people marketing services and trying to identify customers for other companies. That's a wonderful thing. But you get a lot of people who are going to say, no, I'm not interested. Well, no is just another step towards getting to somebody who this is going to resonate with, and they are going to say yes. So it's not a real negative when you hear somebody who doesn't buy into what you're trying to promote or sell or communicate. You just have to keep putting yourself out there. And again, surrounding yourself with people that let you thrive. That's the most important thing. Relationships are absolutely the most important thing. Because you could also be a trusted resource to people. That's significant in any company's culture. I may be the sales and marketing guy, but that doesn't mean I don't have opinions or insights into other areas. I went to school and graduated with a mathematics degree and some level of computer science expertise. I went on to be a business development director for a telecommunications company, and I had to learn a lot about its products and the technology. And I could sit in a room with programmers, people who are much smarter than me in those areas, and know enough that if I was going to create a budget for a product, and they would tell me that it would take a year to develop this and a budget of $600,000, and I knew it would take about 2 months to do it and a budget of about $100,000. I knew enough not to be thrown out of a room, and I could talk intelligently, but I wasn't the one doing this stuff. So it's important to, again, be a trusted resource. Let people know that, yes, you have a background, you have some insights that are valuable to them and the company, even though it may not be your responsibility for those things. And then, of course, that goes with the stay in your lane attitude. I always tell people all the time in my business, as well as other situations where I've been told this, to accomplish the goals of the company, of the bigger picture, sometimes even though you may have talents that go beyond your role. You still should stay in your lane if that's what's in the best interest of the people around you, of the culture that's being created, because people don't like other people stepping on their toes, but they do like having somebody who is an intelligent and trusted resource when they want to have a sounding board for something. So
Yeah.
putting yourself out there, getting in the mix, always being somebody who, even though I'm talking a lot in this conversation because you don't know anything about me and I want to, share whatever might be beneficial to the people in your audience listening to me. But listening is probably the most important skill set, and to develop a good culture for yourself and for the people around you, being able to hear what other people's hopes and dreams and needs are is equally more important than you being able to tell people how much you know.
Yeah, yeah. And I think one of the things that you said that really connected with me was talking about all the no's that you have to get to find a yes in any type of sales environment. And that's really where we derived our company name from. Rockerbox, we're a done for you inside sales assistant solution in the real estate space. And we help follow up with people's internet leads and find out who's actually hot and motivated and needs the expertise of a real estate professional. And that's who hires us to give them that shortcut. And so we call ourselves Rockerbox. It's an old gold mining tool used to separate sand and gravel from those little flakes of gold. And in the real estate community, a closed commission is a flake of gold. It's a treasure chest to our clients. So that mentality of being involved in sales, being involved in marketing, and understanding there's a lot of no's that you got to go through to get those yeses. And then the other thing that I really liked, you talked about, inspiring people to let their voice be heard, to create a feedback loop. One of the tools that we use at Rockerbox is called a mastermind, and it's not something that we invented. It became kind of famous when Napoleon Hill wrote his classic Think and Grow Rich, but he talks about the mastermind principle, where some of the most successful business people since the beginning of time all share that common denominator of having mastermind groups where they go with other people and they share ideas and they brainstorm and they move the group to new heights. So what are some sort of specific practices that you've seen in all of these organizations that you've been a part of, to where you encourage the team members, right, from every department to show up, to be able to contribute, to be able to lend their perspective and help grow the organization to new heights? What are some examples of that you might have?
Well, I can give you the most recent example, which occurred about an hour and a half ago here.
Yeah.
We do a monthly lunch and learn, we call it, where we get the department heads from sales, marketing, customer support, and management, and we even engage our interns, because we do a lot of give back, and I always employ interns from the business school here in Wilmington, University of North Carolina, that has a beautiful branch here and a great business school and school of entrepreneurship. So I always have interns here every semester. But once a month, we get together like we did earlier today for lunch, where we just have open forum for transparency and discussion on what's working, what's not working. What does the support team get from the sales team? What are we saying to people that are setting their expectations incorrectly, perhaps, where the product maybe doesn't do what we tell somebody it will do? We certainly try to avoid that, but sometimes, in the sales process, you get so enthusiastic and passionate about your products that you sometimes lose sight of the fact that maybe they're not going to be applied in certain ways to certain people. And when they do buy into it and get your product and begin to use it, maybe their use cases will be different than what they anticipated.
Sure.
And so being able to again have that line of communication across borders of your departments, from marketing to sales to customer support, is critical to the success of the business, and we understand that. And we try to take in everybody's input. We did that today. We came up with 3-4 new ideas, which is what we usually comes out of these sessions, where we all understand what we have to do to improve upon something or make a change or just try something different. Just like in the marketing world, you do a lot of A/B testing. You take a picture and we take a video that we put up on YouTube, but we put a different message with it. And we see which one resonates more, which one better communicates the real value of what we're trying to accomplish or gets us the kind of customer we want. Just like you said, and I said about taking the nose, we get 150 inquiries every single day through our social media marketing. Granted, 140 of those 150 are people who see it's not a $100 desktop printer, but a $30,000 machine. And they say, no, that's not for me. I didn't realize that. I just saw a cool video that looked great. Well, that cool video got their attention, but that doesn't mean it's going to be the right tool for them to use for whatever they want.
Sure.
Some of those 140 people are people who say, not for me, but hey, I have a wall that could really benefit by having some beautiful artwork on it, or I know an artist that this would be a cool machine for them to have, or a photographer or a house painter or somebody like that. But then 10 of those 150 are people who aren't put off by the fact that it's a machine that might require an investment of anywhere from $30,000 to $100,000 to create a really successful business and employ people and grow and take advantage of a new technology. And so those are the people we talk to, and we create Zoom calls just like this, or invite them into our warehouse in Wilmington, North Carolina here to come take a look at the machine, kick the tires, so to speak, let us learn who they are and what they're trying to accomplish to try to make a match there. But at the same time, if it's not appropriate for them, we want to know that too. You don't want to learn. You don't want to learn down the road that you've either sold them something that wasn't appropriate for them, or their expectations weren't met correctly. And that's another reason why this whole interchange of departments is really important. We want to make sure that what the salespeople are telling a potential customer is what they're going to, they're going to get what they see. And then that certainly takes a lot of pressure off our customer support team when somebody does have an issue or a question, that it's really just a step in their growth process, not a roadblock put up to them where some expectation is unmet.
Sure. Yeah. So lunch and learn sounds very similar in the style and format that we do our masterminds. Hey, what are we doing really well? What can we use some improvement on? Or what's the biggest ambiguity or inconsistency or bottleneck or headache that you have? And then use everybody's perspective, because whether someone's been with us for a day or a decade, everybody comes from different cultural backgrounds. Everybody has different life experiences, professional experiences. And so when you bring all the minds together, it allows people to achieve more together than they would have individually. So I love that. How often do you do that? It's weekly or monthly?
Monthly. We do that monthly.
Yeah.
And then we do the same thing with customers. We have monthly workshops where we invite them to, what's going right, what's going wrong, what do you need help with, what do you want to learn about? We learn more from our customers than they learn from us. It's one thing to tell somebody how to use a machine, but what are they using it for? Well, that comes from their customers. We're not a franchise system. We don't develop their marketing plan for them. We don't develop their website. We don't reach into their pockets for revenue. All of that is on them to find their local customers, which may be residential, it could be schools, it could be restaurants, it could be medical offices, any place with a wall or a floor they could print on. So they're learning about who wants this by just making people aware of the technology. We make people aware of it to create a business. They make people aware of it to be able to actually put art on their walls. And so they're finding different applications, different needs, different surfaces. They have questions that go along with that, and they come back to us, and we learn, or we try and we experiment, and we try to make sure that the machines can do what they say they can do, or we change our message accordingly.
Yeah. So anyone who has a wall, anybody listening, if you have a wall or if you have a floor, which I would imagine is a majority of our listeners here, there could be an opportunity for you to seek out some of these solutions. So if someone wanted to learn a little bit more about the wall printer or some of the artwork or some of the resources and solutions that you guys have created, where would you point them? How do they get in touch with you? What's the next best step, Paul?
Yeah, thanks, Josh. So we're happy to talk to people about the wall printer, of course. That's my current business. But at the same time, I'm also happy, as I said in this conversation, happy to connect and just help people build their network and extend my network. You never know who you're going to learn from and who you could benefit by being that trusted resource. So for the answer to your first question, you can just go to our website, thewallprinter.com. That's with the word "the" in front of it, thewallprinter.com. And you see a quick video, you'll learn everything there is to know about how the machines work. But if you want to learn more about the actual business opportunity, you just complete a little information request form, and then that leads to a conversation just like we're having. and we'll answer all the questions, and we'll lay it out, or invite you to come and visit with us here in Wilmington. It's a beautiful beach community. A lot of people like coming to us. We service the entire North and South American markets. We have people every week coming to us from Canada, from the US, from Mexico, South America. So we're happy to entertain people here. And then if you just want to connect with me, I suggest going to LinkedIn. You could just find Paul Barron. And again, I'm happy to talk with anybody. If you think there's something that you'd like to share, or something you might benefit from, or that you might benefit me, by all means, reach out and connect.
Yeah, very great. I see the wallprinter.com right here on the top. You've got your 2023 Coastal Entrepreneur of the Year award. Again, congratulations on that award there. We love recognition and rewards here. Just curious, how have you in your past found out about all these technologies overseas? You just hop on a plane and travel the world and call it a business expense, or is there like an online portal of different businesses?
I've always enjoyed surfing the internet, as long as the internet's been around, because that's been developed through my lifetime. But most of the things I find is just really through searching. That's 50% of the things. The other 50% is because, as I mentioned, I'm 72 years old. I've had quite a few experiences. I do have a reputation as being a kind of consultant to businesses that have products that want to find their customers, high value customer targets or markets here in the United States. So I've been approached by a lot of people who wanted me to market their products. I stopped doing that a while ago as a hired gun. And I just, in my retirement years, started just looking for things that were interesting to me, that I could get passionate about, that could not only, even though I may not have needed the financial benefits that might come from it, I wanted to be able to create those opportunities for other people. And so when I would find a product like the self-service dog wash, or like the baby bottle, something that was innovative, something that added value, that wasn't readily available in the marketplace, I might want to learn more about it and then actually take that product on, or invest in the company and see what I could do with it. Generally, when that happens, I yell to my wife, and she's in another room in our house, and I say, "Hey, Maureen," my wife's name, I say, "Come here, take a look at this," because I'm in my home office surfing for stuff all the time. And when I'm not either on the tennis court or playing or swimming, which are my two sports, and she'll invariably not come in and see what I'm talking about, but she'll cut up my credit cards and change the passwords on my bank account, because she says, "Here we go, Paul's going to invest in something crazy again." This time, when she saw the wall printer, she was all in, as was I, because we were just so enthralled by it. And so we did our homework and learned more. And I spent a year researching this technology to find out who were the players, what was the competition, what was the opportunity. Could I create business opportunities for other people, and could they make money doing this? And then when yes was the answer to most of those questions, then I actually invested and created a business now for other people as well as my own employees. So that's my process. Hopefully this is going to be the last one.
Go ahead.
No, that's that's it. I don't have a lot of these left in me. It takes a lot of energy and time. But again, if you're passionate about something, just try to do it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, trust me, you'll learn something, and it'll get you closer to your own yes.
Yeah, exactly. It's a win or it's a learning lesson, right? And I hope this story has been inspiration to anybody out there that, we've got the world at our fingertips. You've got the answer to every question you could ever have right there after the www. And very cool and exciting that you've just used this, amazing new tool. Not so new these days, but it was, transformation in, the market of how people buy and sell and communicate and network and connect with each other. And you've been able to use that as a tool to be involved in so many different business ventures. So congratulations and good luck with the wall printer. Again, if you want to know more information, if you're watching us on YouTube, you can see the beautiful artwork right behind Paul right there. If you're listening, go to thewallprinter.com and check out some of the examples here. It's incredibly interesting. I used to work at Best Buy way back in the day, and so I know all the inkjet printer language. We used to sell people the ink cartridge and get them the USB cable and all that other stuff. This is, like you said, it's the inkjet printer on steroids. This is a whole nother level. So if you're interested in learning more, thewallprinter.com. Paul, it's been a pleasure having you here on the show today. To our viewers and listeners, have no fear. We got more awesome guests and incredible stories about entrepreneurship, company culture, and really, just like you said, finding that purpose and that meaning in the work that you do. If you love what you do, you'll never work another day in your life.
Thank you for tuning in to 5-Star Company Culture with Josh Cunningham. Embrace these lessons to elevate your business and join the ranks of thriving organizations. Stay tuned for more episodes. And until next time, remember, culture is the key to your success.